So let's get on with the program. And the program is called Cultivating Mindfulness-Based Resilience. Basically, there are three key words there. Cultivating means developing your mind, helping yourself to improve the way you think, the way you feel, and your spiritual growth. And mindfulness is really when things are happening around you, you may not have any control over things outside of your being, but you can take care of what's inside. And mindfulness is helping you to observe how you are affected by things happening around you so that you can learn to adjust yourself and learn to help recover and adapt. And that's what resilience is all about. Resilience is about two things, recovery and adapting. Resilience is not about endurance. You don't just take the pain and absorb it and that's it. It's about recovering from it, rising when you fall, and then adapting, learning what's happened, how did it happen to you, and learn how to be a better person, how to avoid the problems again. So that's really what cultivating mindfulness-based resilience is really all about. Let's get on with it. The foundation of this program is based on a lot of teachings from the Buddha, because I'm a Buddhist and I've been doing a lot of Buddhist studies, as well as studied under a very learned teacher before. So I took a lot of core teachings of the Buddha, especially in the area of mindfulness, compassion, and mind-body cultivation. And I present it in a secular manner. So this is not a religious thing. It is basically talking about spiritual growth. Any religion, it applies. As well as taking a lot of research findings from neuroscience, psychology, medicine, and neuro-linguistic programming. And then also hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, and philosophy, laughter yoga. Why laughter yoga? What happened is, many years ago, before I got involved with laughter yoga, this is more than 10 years ago, I was using psychotherapy to help people heal from mental illness, heal from depression, heal from anxiety. And it took me a while for each client. It took me, I was doing it pro bono. So it was in a temple, anyone who has anxiety issues, mental health issue, ADHD or whatever, are welcome to register, and then I'll treat them one-on-one, clinical. And what happens is, when they come and they're feeling a lot of anxiety and depression, it took me between 30 minutes to 1 hour of interaction before I could snap them out of their depressive moods. And it was quite a while. And sometimes it even took 1 whole hour. There are even times when the client could not snap out of the depressed mood. Then I discovered laughter yoga, and I went all the way to India to learn it from the guru himself, Dr. Madan Kataria. You will hear from him later on. And I applied it because from his lecture, I was very impressed. So it was amazing. When I used laughter techniques, it snapped people out of depressive mood within minutes. Sometimes 5-10 minutes, not more than 15 minutes. If I interact with them and start to use laughter yoga exercises, after 10, 15, 20 minutes at the most, they are feeling happy and responsive. That's very important, because a person in depression, if he remains stuck in that depressive mood, it's very hard to help them. You got to get them out of that depressive mood. So that's why laughter yoga is so important. So we're going to do a little bit of that. Right? But we don't really have time to do everything. As you can see, the material is very rich. We cannot have time to do everything. So we'll do a little bit of laughter yoga. I hope all of you will participate, because I'm going to tell you one very important thing about laughter in a moment. Okay? Getting on. And this program is very much focused on mental health, but not only mental health, not only for people with anxiety and depression, but also personal development. If you want to be a better person, if you want to do well in life and in business. So it's for mind-body wellness and spiritual growth. A quick history of how this program started. Many years ago, I was conducting a mindfulness-based emotional composure program. This was basically to help people overcome depressive thoughts and unpleasant thoughts, calming the mind. But it was not that strong. It was kind of simple, straightforward. By far, the most severely stressed and anxious and hurting and suffering people in the world are people in prison, incarcerated. Why? Because they're deprived of liberty, deprived of basic hygiene, facing the same four walls, and then not knowing, unknowing what's going to happen next, and constantly facing all kinds of adversities, people who don't like them, they argue, but they're stuck in the same prison, they're bullied, despised, okay, and constantly experience all kinds of anger, fear, frustration, anxiety, trauma, everything you can think of that is hurting them badly. So this is what the program is tailored for. So focusing on stress and stressor. Now these are two very important words. Stress is referring to what happens inside us when something happens out there. Stressor are events that are triggering the stress reaction inside us. So take a look at this video that's going to explain that.
Stress happens, and that's not always bad. Starting a new job or getting married can both be happy things, but they can also be really stressful. There's some kinds of stress that just don't seem to go away, though, like the feeling that you're drowning in work but still perpetually worried about making ends meet. If you deal with a lot of stress every day for months or years on end, then stress doesn't just feel awful, it actually causes you physical harm. Psychologists call any event or situation that puts pressure on you or threatens your well-being a stressor, while stress refers to your psychological and physical reactions.
So two things are happening. First is stressors, referring to external events, things happening around you, conditions, changes, all kinds of things happening around you, events, and that create the concept or the perception of threats and conflicts. Sometimes they're not threat or conflict, but we think of it like that. It's just our perception. So when that happens, it triggers a stress reaction inside us. Stress really refers to how the body and the mind react to these stressors. And we call this reaction sympathetic nervous system response. Okay? Sympathetic is because your body is sympathetic towards what is happening to you. So it triggers this reaction to help you feel better. But sometimes this is not very healthy in the long term. So what are stressors? Now if you were to ask a psychologist, right, what are stressors, they would be very technical and they could list anything from 10, 20, even 100 items as stressors. Many things. Somebody saying the wrong thing to you, somebody doing something against your wishes, you're not getting what you want for lunch because the food is not exactly, you like chicken and you got beef, right? You don't like pork and you ended up with pork, that kind of thing. So things are happening around you, so it could be 100 of them. But if you look at all the different stressors in the world, you can generally regroup them into three major categories. The first is something that triggers negative emotions arising in you. This is, for example, somebody saying something bad to you, something unpleasant to you, somebody insulting you, or somebody criticizing you, or somebody simply saying, when you try to look good and put on your best dress and nice makeup, and somebody look at you and say, you look so pangit, right? That triggers negative emotions. So that is one kind of stressor. Something happening triggering negative emotions, arousing your negative emotions of all kinds. Right? The second thing is adversities, something that is not according to your wishes, creating the perception of threats or conflict, encountering problems, troubles, difficulties, obstructions, roadblocks, threats or conflicts. Things going wrong, not according to your wishes or desire, right, or preferences. And that can cause a lot of stress in you. For example, you expect to have lunch. Suddenly, the person who's supposed to cook lunch for you, oh, I'm sorry, we ran out of rice. You got to wait another 2 hours, but I'm waiting for someone to deliver rice. And that's adversity, something going wrong. So things not according to expectations, desires, or preferences, such as problems, troubles, difficulties, obstruction, roadblocks, threats or conflicts. The third is uncertainty. You're not sure what's going to happen next. And this is by far one of the biggest problems inside the prison. Okay? So we react. The trouble is when we experience stressors, stress arises and we react. We react without thinking. Very often, just react. Somebody says something unpleasant to us, and then we shout back. It's like cockfighting. And that happens all the time. You know, when somebody says unpleasant things to us, we have a tendency to shout back at them, right? When somebody does something that upsets us, oh, we scream out, our ego rises. So all this reaction is very unhealthy, and this is what we call unmindful reactions, okay? So let's take a look at what happens with stress, anxiety, depression, emotional trauma. Something happens to the brain, right? And it affects the brain, it affects the whole body.
When you're stressed, the fear center in the brain, called the amygdala, takes over. The brain sends out a distress call, which results in the adrenal glands located above the kidneys releasing hormones that speed up your heartbeat and breathing and push more blood to your muscles. Once the threat passes, your stress response winds down. For our prehistoric ancestors being chased by wild animals, this fight or flight response could be very useful, but in the modern world, it's a problem when the perceived threat never goes away. When the brain is under constant stress, it can change in ways that make you even more vulnerable to stress. A constant flood of stress hormones can also do damage by weakening your immune system, leaving you more prone to infections. It may trigger inflammation that puts you at greater risk for conditions like heart disease and diabetes. Learning how to cope with stress can help minimize these effects. Try practicing relaxation techniques like meditation, yoga, or deep breathing.
So various relaxation techniques like a meditation, yoga, deep breathing, and so on. We're going to do a couple of these, so hopefully that will help you learn these techniques and apply them as and when you need them. Okay, so what happens to the body? So in the brain, there is a part of the brain called the amygdala. The amygdala is a part of the brain that scans whatever you experience from the environment. What you see, hear, smell, taste, touch, and think. All that passes through the amygdala to trigger, for the amygdala to scan. Now, if the amygdala scans something that resembles threat or conflict, something disturbing, one of the stressors. So if the amygdala senses something like one of the stressors, it triggers a chain reaction releasing hormones. The adrenal gland, triggering the adrenal gland to release two very powerful stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, and that floods through your body. What it does is it makes your heart beat faster and makes you breathe deeper. You see, when people are stressed, they are breathing, hyperventilating also sometimes. And then the heart, of course, is beating faster. And then at the same time, in order to conserve energy to help you, that's what we call sympathetic nervous system response. Your digestive system is suspended by these hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. And then also make your muscle all tense up. Oh, you're very tense, you know. You can think of it. Every time you get stressed, your muscles are tense, right? And then next, it causes tingling sensations in your body. When you get tingling sensations in your body, it's because the hair on your skin is standing on end, right? That is why you feel tingling sensation, right? And your eyes will open up to see what's going on. You see, when people are stressed, they want to see what's happening. It's all part of that sympathetic nervous system response. And it causes your facial expression to be distorted. Why? Because in ancient time, all animals have the same thing happening. When an animal is threatened, the animal tries to look fierce, try to make itself look big, right? Humans are no different. When something threatens you one way or another, you want to look tough, you want to look, angry, you want to look strong, So facial expression gets distorted. And perspiration, trembling, all part of this problem of stress hormones. And you can see what happens there. Look at the cat, hair standing on end, pupils dilating, even the man himself, the eyes open up, muscles all tense, facial expression distorted, right? All this is happening. And not only that, it causes blood sugar level to rise. Now, if you look at all these conditions, very, very, very unhealthy. Blood sugar rising, what happens? You become diabetic. Immune system suspended, what happens? You become sick very easily. A few drops of rain and then you start to sneeze and runny nose and all kinds. If you perspire too much, you're losing body temperature. And if your facial expression distorts too much, it makes your face very wrinkly. You look very pangit. And then your pupils dilating too frequently. Before you get old, your eyesight become very weak. And hair standing on end, sooner or later you got no more hair, like mine. Okay, muscles become too tense. You know, your muscle become too tense is not good. It's bad for your health. And intestinal movement suspended, what happens? Then you end up with ulcers in your stomach. Respiration quicken, you get hyperventilation. Heartbeat faster, blood pressure rising, hypertension. All these are so unhealthy. Now, the way to overcome stress, the moment you realize you are getting stressed, one way or another, something, learn to relax. That's the first thing. Pause. Do not react. And relax. Notice I say relax. I didn't say relax. There's a big difference between relax and relax. Okay, I want all of you to respond. When you're getting stressed, what do? Relax. So when you say the word relax, it's a very relaxing word. That word in itself is relaxing. When you say relax, that's a very stressful word. Right? So it's relax. Learn to relax. If you don't do that, the stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol flooding through your body dries up your skin very quickly. In fact, it is even mentioned in the Bible about skin getting dried up when you're getting stressed. Your skin dries up and then you look like that. You want to look like that? Yeah, it makes you very pangit. Yeah? You see, these people, you can tell someone who looks like that with very dry skin, wrinkly, because this person had a very stressful life. Anybody who experienced a lot of stress during life, before they get too old, even by the time 40, 50 years old, they start to look like that. They don't have nice, smooth skin like mine. You know? So they don't have smooth skin. They have dry skin like that. Okay? Some of them are not even too old. They are already looking like that. If you have any friend that looks like that, before they get too old, even when they're old, they shouldn't look too much like that. Then you know this person has had a very stressful life. Right? Sympathize with such a person, or rather empathize, not sympathize, empathize with such a person who has experienced a lot of stress in their life. Nobody can escape from stress. Every single person in this world, every single animal in this world is experiencing stress throughout the day. Like this morning, coming here, it took me a while to get a car. Finally, I got in the car, arrived just a fraction overdue. I was supposed to arrive 8:30, I arrived 8:40, so 10 minutes, it's okay. And then this morning, we're supposed to have 40 people. Brother, where are the 40 people? They have registered and confirmed, but we don't even have 15, 20 people, okay? So that makes us, the organizers, a little bit stressed too, right? No one escapes stress. Stress is something that arises automatically inside you the moment you encounter stressor. But you can do something about it. What do you do about it when you feel stressed? Relax, okay? Yeah, so learn to relax, okay? Even a saint, even Jesus Christ cannot escape stress. Why? Imagine being nailed on the cross. Isn't that stressful? Yeah? Is it relaxing or stressful? Stressful, okay? One thing I want to request a favor from you. I've come a long way to do this, and the only way you can really benefit, not only pay attention, but respond, interact, right? Proactive. You will actually benefit from it, because some of the exercises, if you don't respond and do it, it is of no benefit to you. The only way you can benefit is to respond, be proactive, and all that, okay? So even Jesus Christ cannot escape being stressed. Even Mother Teresa, a saint, cannot escape being stressed because she did a lot of charity work during her lifetime. A lifetime of charity and service, and it's very stressful. You see, her face is also the same. So you have to learn to relax. Remember, relax, not relax. Yeah, not relax. Okay? Relax. All right. Let me introduce laughter yoga. Laughter is happiness. A lot of people have a misconception. They laugh only when they're happy. Right? Other times they will not laugh. They only laugh when something happy happens. That's what most people do. In fact, a lot of people do that. But don't you know there is a little secret? If you were to laugh for no reason, just the laughter itself makes you happy. So you can actually transform normal feeling into happiness if you just laugh often. See? Okay. So, learn to live, love, and laugh. So now I'm going to teach you a simple laughter yoga technique. When something good happens, when something good happens, everybody do that. Say, very good, yay! And do it 2 times, okay? Everybody, put down your things, ready, go. Very good, yay! Very good, yay! Ask yourself right now, aren't you feeling happy? Yeah. See? For no reason. Simply doing something that makes you laugh. Then you feel happy. So that is the secret of happiness. For no reason, laugh. And then you're happy, so everybody's happy. So that's what it's all about. Yes, we laugh, everybody love, and then happy, okay? Yeah, this is very important, right? Okay. Yay! Look at the prisoners. In the prison, it's so stressful, but look at them. Everyone's so happy, right? With no exception. Just about everybody is happy. They're so happy because we do all this, right? That's why they say laughter is the best medicine. It really makes your body become stronger, healthier, and your spirit becomes light, joyful, right? So, I just want to now go back in history. Once upon a time, before civilization. That means we're talking about those days when people were living in caves. Maybe 20,000 years ago, 50,000 years ago, when there was no community. People were living in caves, and then they hunt wild animals for food. So, brothers or a few of them go out, and when they can catch a snake, they cook the snake. They catch a rat, they cook a rat. And if they're so lucky, they happen to catch bigger animals like a goat, they will have kambing caldereta. Diba? So they do that all the time. But sometimes, some parts of the jungle is very dangerous. So they're very risky. They roam the jungle, often looking for food, and then what happens? Whoa! Sometimes they encounter that. Now, that is what we call stressor. Something threatening happening. And then stress arises. When stress arises in the body, we have a tendency to react in 3 different ways. The first one, freeze. We are in shock. Sometimes even a simple thing like a glass fall on the floor, and go, right? In shock, freeze. The second reaction, the ego rises, and then we think we're a hero. Fight! Don't worry. So when somebody says something unpleasant to us, we shout back. Right? We react very negatively. That is fight. There is also a third reaction. What do you think the third reaction is? Fly. Right? The psychology major would know. Freeze, fight, or flight. Out of these three people, if let's say all three were brothers and they reacted in those ways, which brother is the first one to patay? Patay. Tagalog? You don't understand Tagalog? From a foreigner? Who is the first one to patay? Freeze. Right? Who is the first one to survive? Fly. The one who fight, 50-50. Right? Not even 50-50. In this case, 90% patay. One person against a tiger, no chance. But if there are 3 or 4 of them, or 2 or 3, at least 2 or 3 onwards with weapon, then they can have a chance 50-50 survive. Right? But we tend to fight all the time. The most common reaction is fight. When somebody says something unpleasant to us, we get angry and shout back. Right? Somebody says, oh, that dress doesn't look nice on you. You look so pangit. And you turn around and say, oh, you think you're very ganda? Huh? You know, that's natural reaction. Fight. Okay? Why? Why? Because there's this devil inside us called ego. Well, for lack of a better word, right? I call it devil inside us, but it's actually inside us, ego arising. So what is ego? I use ego as an acronym. I call it emotionally grasping overdrive. It's an emotional thing arising, and you are hanging on to something, and it is very powerful. That's why it's an emotionally grasping overdrive. Ego arising. So what happens when ego arises? It's a mental state with excessive emotional attachment to whatever you think is right, whatever belongs to you, whatever you value in yourself, your pride or whatever, and it overpowers your thoughts and your feelings. It drives you to do terrible things. Very self-centered reactivity. You tend to react because you become self-centered. I, me, or mine. That's your ego is very strong. And this can affect your perception of what's going on. It can affect your desire. It can affect your attitude and your behavior. And this can lead to conflict, arrogance, aggression, resentment, stress, and suffering. That's what ego does to us. Right? And ego never brings peace and happiness. Never has ego brought peace and happiness. Some people, especially those who teach business, they will say, oh, you need your ego to become better. Sometimes a little bit of drive is good, but not emotional overdrive. Ego is an emotional overdrive. And basically, ego has never brought peace and happiness to anyone. And not only that, learn to let go of ego, because that ego will destroy you. Now, I'm going to show you some very powerful teachings of the Buddha that explain all this, right? But of course, I've presented it in a secular manner. And the Buddha has pointed out about these emotions. Basically, he's referring to ego, but he used the word emotions. Emotions dominate the world. Emotions create distress. Emotion is that one thing to which all are spellbound. See, emotional take control and it creates distress. Stress is what happens to the body. Distress is what happens to the mind. So distress is the mental and emotional part. Stress is the physical, physiological part. So the psychological part is distress, the physiological part is stress. And when that arises, we are under its control, right? Spellbound. So that is actually something we have to be very careful. If we realize something is stressing us, and we start to realize that maybe our ego is starting to rise up, pause. Do not react. And then relax. Okay? Otherwise, this is also what's going to happen. The Buddha also mentioned, whatever harm one's enemy may do to one, or a hater to another, it's one's ill-directed emotions that inflict upon oneself a greater harm. In other words, your enemy may do something to hurt you, but if you are not careful about how your emotions rise up and take control of you, how your ego controls you and spellbound you, that can create more harm to yourself, make you very unhealthy. You're causing a lot of unhealthiness in your own mind and body. And when the Buddha said ill-directed emotions, what he was referring to is mental proliferation, the mind going crazy with imagination of things that are not true. You know, imagination is never about the truth. Imagination is about something that hasn't happened yet. You're just imagining it. Memory is remembering something that already long gone. Why keep clinging on to the memory? And expectation is when things are in front of us, we always have some expectations that differ from the reality. See, when our expectations are not consistent with the reality, we are suffering, right? Mama cooks pork adobo. So happened that day you wanted to eat something, maybe you want to eat something else. And then you look at the pork adobo, oh, I don't like pork adobo, you know? And then your expectations. So we have to take control. Imagination is something that hasn't happened yet. It's not true. Imagination is never the truth. And memory is something that's long gone. Can you change the past? You can't. Let it go. Expectation. What is right in front of you is the reality. Why expect to be different? Right? So these are the things that control us under spell of our emotional tendencies. So we have to be very careful about what happens when ego arises. Now I'm going to show you why do we react. Why do we react negatively? When somebody says something unpleasant to us, why do we shout back and react? Not only because of the ego, but because of something else. Let's make an example. Here we're going to use an orange. If I pick up an orange and I squeeze that orange and then the juice is dripping out, what kind of juice comes out? Is it mango juice? Orange juice. Is it pineapple juice? No, mango juice. Orange juice. Why? Because orange juice is what's inside. Yeah? So listen to one of my former mentor. I follow him a lot. In the old days, in 10, 20 years ago, I used to buy a lot of DVDs. Those days they were selling DVDs on motivational training. I bought a lot from Wayne Dyer. And now listen to his explanation. He used orange as a metaphor.
An orange is a simple metaphor. You take this orange and you squeeze it as hard as you can squeeze it. And you ask yourself, what will come out? And what comes out when you squeeze an orange? Orange juice. Never, no matter how many times you squeeze it, will apple juice come out. There's no mistakes. You'll never get grapefruit juice out of this thing, ever. The only thing you'll ever get out of it is orange juice. And the next question is why? Why when you squeeze an orange, as hard as you can squeeze it, does orange juice come out? And I asked that question up in Toronto one time, there's a little girl sitting right in the front row. She said, that's dumb. She said, that's what's inside. It has to come out. I said, well, that's the answer. You are really smart. And she smiled. She thought that was great. But that's the truth. The reason that orange juice comes out when you squeeze it is because that's what's inside. Now you extend the metaphor and someone squeezes you. That is, someone says something about you that you don't like. Someone behaves towards you in a way that you find offensive. Somebody does something or says something to you that you feel hurt by. And out of you comes anger, hatred, bitterness, tension, fear, anxiety, stress. And immediately you say, the reason that comes out of me is because of how he said it, or the way that she said that, or because they did that. But the truth is, the reality is, that what comes out is what's inside. And if you don't like what's inside, you can change it.
What comes out is because of what's inside. But the good news is, if you don't like what's inside, you have the power to change it. You can't change what goes on outside easily. You may influence it one way or another, but you can't change it. You can influence it by being kind to people, then less people will become unkind to you. That is influence. but you can't change it. Even some people you're kind to them, they still can become very nasty to you. You can't control that, but you can control what goes on inside. Because if it is to be, it is up to me. Remember this mantra. If it is to be, it is up to me. Let's say that together. Ready, go. If it is to be, it is up to me. Is this good? Yes. When something good happens, what do? Very good, very good, yay! Very good, very good, yay! Let everybody participate, because that's the only reason I'm here. I want to help everyone. Let's do that together. Don't just sit there and watch. This is not a show. I have retired from doing shows. Alright? I've retired 16, 17 years already. During the time when I'm doing shows, each of you will be paying $500 to attend. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Yeah, so if you think you're coming here to do a show, $500. Okay? But if you want to come in free, let's be part of the whole action. Okay? So when something good happens, what do? Very good, very good, yay! Very good, very good, yay! Okay, if you don't like what's inside, you can change it, okay? Because when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. If it is to be, it is up to me. Right? You see, when I do work in the women's prison, I use Wonder Woman as a role model. When I do it in the men's prison, I use Spider-Man as the role model. But I tell the men, I can teach you all the good things Spider-Man is good at doing, but there's only one thing I can't teach: how to climb out of the prison. Okay? So these are role models I use in the prison. Right? Learn to cultivate mindfulness-based resilience. Okay, all this is part of the technique. What is mindfulness-based resilience? It is about your mental toughness and also your mental agility, flexibility of the mind, so that the ability to recover quickly and adapt easily to traumatic experiences, adversities, and uncertainties. That's really what mindfulness-based resilience is all about. There are two very important things. One is recover. The other is adapt. See, resilience is not about withstanding or enduring. No. Recover and adapt. Adjust yourself. So, let's take a look at this emotional thing that's going on in us. We call this the vicious cycle of emotions. Things are happening around us and we begin to perceive what's going on. We experience them. We start to think of what this is all about. And if they represent stressors, something that trigger our negative emotions, something that is against our wishes, adversities, or something that is uncertainties, right, unpredictability, then it triggers this stress reaction in us. The body changes, physical stress. The mind is disturbed, emotional distress. So this is really how stress and distress arise, because we start to perceive something to be negative emotion, something that arouses negative emotion, something that is adversity, presenting as threats and conflicts, and something that is uncertainty. That's how stress arises, because of these three categories of stressors. And very often we react without thinking. This reacting unmindfully, causing fight or flight reaction. Right? And this triggers a chain, emotional chain reaction, like what the Buddha was talking about. We become spellbound and it hurts us. All kinds of anger, hatred, fear, worry, anxiety, greed, jealousy, pride, blame, shame, regret, all arising, all kinds of that arising, feeding emotions with mental proliferation, the mind going crazy. And when that happens, that's why it hurts us, because we react. If we learn to relax, then we won't be hurt by this. But we don't do that. We react. Most of the time we react. And that's why this happens. And when this happens, what does it do? It hurts us in so many ways. It causes depression. It causes post-traumatic stress disorder. It causes psychological disorder. Right? When all that happens, psychological disorder, it makes you go cuckoo, cuckoo. And in the women's prison, right, in Mandaluyong, in the women's prison, Correctional Institution for Women, I say to them, you be careful. If stress makes you go cuckoo, cuckoo, you will be transferred to the institution next door. Mandaluyong inside. And they all, I don't want to be in Mandaluyong inside, you know. So, and all kinds of illnesses, health issues arising. Right? So, there are two things we need to do. When all this is happening, we need to be careful not to react. Right? And need to calm our mind and need to relax the body. So these are the two things we need to do. Now, calming the mind, relaxing the body, the way human mind works, the way the brain is activating, we can't do both at the same time. No, we have to do one at a time. So what shall we do first? We can either calm the mind first and then relax the body afterwards, or we can relax the body first and then calm the mind afterwards. Now, you can only do one of these, A or B. You cannot do both at the same time. You cannot relax the body and calm the mind at the same time. I'll give you an example. At night, you go to sleep. Right? The day is good and your body is now relaxed. So you have relaxed the body, for instance. In that case, you lay down there and then you want to sleep. Suddenly, your mind starts going to the past or start imagining things that are not true. Your mind is starting to go a little crazy. So you need to calm the mind also. Okay? So that is, even though your body is relaxed, your mind is disturbed. So you need to do one of these first, followed by the other. I want you to now think about it. The question is, which is easier to do? Calm the mind first and then relax the body, or relax the body first and then calm the mind? Now think about it. Make a decision. I'm going to ask all of you to raise your hand. You only raise your hand once. Do you choose A or do you choose B? The question is, which is easier to do? Think about it now and give me your answer. How many of you think, calm the mind first and then relax the body? Raise your hand. Okay, we have two only. Okay. How many of you think, relax the body first and then calm the mind? We have the rest. Okay, good. I'm not going to give you the answer. As we go along, you're going to find out. I'm very cruel, you know. So I'm not going to tell you the answer. You're going to discover as you go along. All right. Mindfulness-based resilience. We have a lot of exercises to do. It is made of 4 stages of exercises. It so happened these 4 different stages of exercises begin with the letter R. But I think you already know what is the first R. What is the first R? Relax. Okay? Because when you are stressed and you relax, what happens? You prevent the stress from getting out of control. Otherwise, the stress can get out of control and becomes very chronic, right? So it can get worse. By relaxing first, and then that will prevent the stress from getting out of control. But even when you try to relax, you're stressed, you try to relax, some parts of your body can still be a little tense, isn't it? You try to relax and then you feel the neck, shoulder is a little bit tight. So you need to do the next one, relieve. Focus on that part of the body and release the stress tensions from that part of the body. So there are 4 R. The first one is prevent the stress from getting out of control. The second one is now relax the rest of your body so that now your body is taken care of. Next, recover. Using breathing exercises, you can now calm the mind, calm your emotional arousal. And when you're able to do that, then you are adequately calm, peaceful, right? And then you can build resilience. Mindfulness exercises help you build mental toughness and mental agility. That's what resilience is two qualities, mental toughness, mental agility, ending up with two results, recover and adapt, okay? So these are the four stages of exercises you're going to learn to do. Now, there's also another thing you're going to learn to do. Right? When you are experiencing all kinds of stress, anxiety, depression, emotional trauma, I call this 3-step self-compassion. Self-compassion means you are compassionate to yourself. You want to help yourself, okay? So the first is when things happen around you, stressors, pause. Do not react. Because when you do that, you allow time for emotional excitement and anxiety to calm down. Because you're all excited now, huh? So by pausing and not reacting, you allow those emotions to calm down. And then your stress hormones, your body is now flooded with stress hormones. Allow your stress hormones to subside. That's why do not react. Because as soon as you react, your stress hormone will get worse. You get more and more stress hormone flooding through your body. So pause. Do not react. And then relax. Take a deep breath. Relax the body. And when you're able to relax the body, consciously compose the mind, calm the mind. Once your body and mind are calm, then think. Think purposefully, focus on helpful, beneficial response to the problem. What can you do about it? How can you address the problem, right, so that you now are in a better position? Help yourself, okay? So pause, relax, and think. And the most important is to learn to relax, okay? So now let's take a look at an explanation of relaxation. What can we do about relaxing? And Dr. Herbert Benson, he's from Harvard University, so he's going to explain a little bit about the 2-step relaxation response. Psychology student would know.
Using modern technology, Benson is trying to understand how meditation appears to reverse the body's natural stress response.
What we are finding is that for centuries upon centuries, people had discovered that there's something they could do to counteract the harmful effects of stress.
Benson named it the relaxation response. It's the body's innate ability to lower blood pressure, reduce heart rate, and slow breathing.
We are fortunate that we have within us a response opposite to the fight or flight response. That is the relaxation response. And there are scores of techniques.
But in all of them, 2 steps are needed. The first is a repetition, a word, a sound, a movement. The second is freeing your mind of thought by concentrating on that repetition. And everyone can do it. The relaxation response can be triggered by all kinds of activity, from the repetition of a prayer to the primal beat of dancing. Even the rhythm of exercise can reverse the harmful effects of stress.
Even the rhythm of exercise can reverse the harmful effects of stress. So when you're feeling really very stressed, one of the good things you can do, apart from trying to pause and relax, is then engage in some form of exercises. Play basketball, table tennis, volleyball or whatever. Or if you are alone, then you can do a little bit of walking or jogging, because that helps your body to work itself into a more peaceful state. Right? So all kinds of things you can do. Now what did he say? He says it's a 2-step relaxation response. First is to engage in some kind of relaxation activity that is repetitive, flowing, rhythmic. Right? And it can be word or phrase or a prayer. For example, some people find certain Bible verses or Bible prayers may be helpful. Like one of the most common one is maybe the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Some people find reciting that can be very calming. If you find that, do that by all means. When you're getting more stressed, open the Bible and recite the verse that helps you feel good. Right? There may be some other motivating verses. Or a book with certain motivating instructions or motivating explanations that can help you. So it can be word, phrase, prayer, chanting. It can be a mantra. Mantra means it's a certain word or series of words. And then body movement like yoga exercises, breathing exercises. Now, there is one particular form of mantra that was discovered in India nearly 5,000 years ago. This is not religious, but it's a word that was used and that has been used in modern day. The word is Om, O-M-M. Now I want you to say that word with a long M. Om. One more time. Om. This time, observe what it does to your face as you make that resonant. Om. Okay, now let's do this purposefully. I want you to focus on how the face feels when you say that and make the M long. And do it with your eyes closed. Okay, everybody, we close our eyes, take a deep breath, and say 3 times. Om. Second time. Om. Third time. Om. Now open your eyes. Observe how your face feels. How does your face feel now? Relax. That resonance. That resonance is very powerful. It puts you into very, very deep relaxation. Now you feel very relaxed when you're getting stressed and you do that. Okay? So this is another technique you just learned. Okay? Every day, every few slides, you're going to learn a new technique. So learn this, practice this. Right? And this you can do while you're riding the jeepney, while you're riding the MRT, or LRT. You can do anywhere, anytime. You sit there, you're feeling all stressed. You don't worry about what other people are saying. Just say to yourself, Mom, and let that M resonate. And that resonance really puts you into deep relaxation. In fact, if you sit back, relax, and say that continuously, you will doze off. Guaranteed. Before you know it, yeah. So at night, if you can't sleep, do that. When you lay down there and if your mind is thinking about unpleasant thoughts, say that, do the Om, and your mind will not, focus on the resonance in your face, and your mind will not be thinking about those thoughts at all. One of the things that all of you should know, psychology students know this already, but one of the important things all of you should know, the mind can only do one thing at a time. If the mind is focusing on Om, the mind is not thinking about negative thoughts. The mind cannot do different things at the same time. We think we are multitasking. We're not really multitasking. Let's say we have 3 or 4 tasks. Let's say 3 tasks. A, B, and C. Let's say a housewife cooking. A. B, the housewife is listening to some music. And C, there's a baby there. The wife also have to take care of watching the baby. What do you think she's doing? Is she doing A, B, C at the same time? No. She's, most of the time cooking is A, B, B, C, A, B, B, C, jumping between A, B, C. So when we think we're multitasking, we're actually jumping around. The mind can only focus on one thing at a time. So when your mind is focused on your mind is not thinking about negative thoughts. It helps you free the mind from disturbing thoughts when you're focused on doing one thing at a time. You can also be doing breathing exercises. It frees your mind from disturbing thoughts, so that the mind is not thinking about those things. And this is what we call the parasympathetic nervous response. The body will respond in a very peaceful way. Okay? So this is what we can do. But unfortunately, we're not always in control of what the mind does. You know, this is a very funny statement. The mind has a mind of its own. Think about it. The mind has a mind of its own. Sometimes bad thoughts just pop up out of the blue. You lay down there, you want to sleep, you say Om a few times, and then you thought you're now peaceful, you want to sleep, and then suddenly you think about problems that happened last time. Some problem, right? Suddenly you worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. You're supposed to attend an interview tomorrow, what's going to happen next? So your mind starts to run around disturbing. So we are not always in control. Disturbing thoughts will pop up at the wrong time. But if you learn all the techniques that I'm teaching you, it will be less frequency of disturbing thoughts arising. But unfortunately, we can't always control it. Disturbing thoughts will pop up. And here is a very good response. When any disturbing thought pops up, use a passive response, not active response. Right? Active response will be, you say to yourself, go away, go away. You want to force the thought to go away. You can never force a thought out of your mind. Never. You can say go away for all you care. Your thought will never go away. The more you say go away, the thought will fight back. You know, you are even making your thought get worse. So don't use things like go away, stop, stop. No. Use this. Well, never mind. This is the best way to release thoughts. And do it with a hand movement. Right? Everyone raise one hand and go, well, never mind. Okay? And do it a few times. Well, never mind. Well, never mind. Okay? You know why? Because there is what we call a psychosomatic connection. The mind and the body are interconnected. You have a question?
Are you going to say it out loud or just in your mind?
In your mind. You can say out loud if you want to. Yeah, you can say out loud. It's more effective to say it. But sometimes, you know, like you're sitting in a jeep, you can't say out loud. You know? You know, the driver is saying, pay your fare, and then you say, well, never mind. You know, but it's saying out loud is more helpful. But you're not always in a situation that allows you to do that. Riding in a jeep, you know, you can't say that. But laying down on the bed, you can do that. Okay. Now, why? There is a connection between your hand and your mind. See, this waving of the hand, the way you wave it is like releasing a butterfly. When whatever your body does, there are parts of your brain called the mirror neurons. They will try to copy the action, but the mind doesn't have an action. The mind has its own responses. So when you wave your hand like that, what the mind is doing is releasing the thoughts. So this releasing a butterfly, the motion of releasing a butterfly is like the mind releasing the negative thoughts. So, well, never mind. It's very helpful. It really helps. But we are not like that. We often react without thinking. Take, for example, there's a glass sitting on the table. Somebody walk by, knock, and then the glass fall on the floor. I go, Priyan! What do most people do? They will go, Diba? Most people will do that. You know? No. The next time a glass fall onto the floor, what do? Well, never mind. And then clean up. But you also have to be careful when you say that. If a senior walking, trip and fall down, don't say to her, well, never mind. No! Help her out. Sit down. Take a few deep breaths. When she feels better, then you say, well, never mind. Okay? But that is very helpful. That is a very powerful technique to release. See, now you're learning another technique. See, I'm continuously teaching you techniques. So that is a very powerful releasing technique, okay? Never pay attention to the bad thought. Don't keep thinking about it. Why this thought is here? And don't try to fight it. Don't say, go away, go away. No. Don't dwell upon it. Don't try to remember it. Don't try to question it. Don't even try to analyze it. These are worse. The more you think about the negative thoughts, the more the negative thoughts remain to disturb you. The best way to release a negative thought is to let it go. Well, never mind. When you think about it, when you try to get rid of it by forcing it, it doesn't work. It makes it worse. Okay? So, what do we do? Well, never mind. Okay? Alright, very good, very good. Yay! Very good, very good. Yay! Okay, we have learned about relaxation. Next, we're going to learn about relief. Okay? Stress relief exercises to release tensions. One of the best is laughter. Now, laughter therapy, I call it laughter therapy. Laughter therapy. Laughter itself is really like a religion. Every religion talks about laughter, and I'll show you why. Padre Pio, you know, he said, joy with peace is the sister of charity. Serve the Lord with laughter. So every time you're doing something for the church or doing something for your organization, laugh along, yeah, be happy, all right? And it's even mentioned in the Bible, right? A joyful heart gives health to the body, while a sad spirit dries up the bones because of all the stress hormones, drying up your skin and your bone and making you unhealthy, right? And not only in Christianity and Catholicism, but also in Islam. A very famous sage. A sage in Islam is like a saint, Hafiz. His student asked him, what is laughter, O Hafiz? And Hafiz mentioned, he says, it is the glorious sound of a spirit waking up. And then he went on to say, laughter, it is happiness applauding itself, then taking flight to embrace everyone and everything in this world. Okay, it's for health, healing, and happiness. Now, laughter yoga is made of 4 stages or 4 steps, 4 things we do normally. First is warm-up exercise. So everybody, the way to warm up with laughter yoga is you clap with finger to finger, palm to palm like that, flat. And then we say ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. 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 Ho, ho, ha, ha, harder. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. 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 Okay, pause. You feel the tingling sensations in your palm. It's very healthy for you. Because this is stimulating the nerves going into the brain to release the good hormones. Right? Endorphin, oxytocin. These are very good hormones, healthy hormones. They even boost your immune system. So this clapping is actually very therapeutic. A lot of people don't realize, right? And if you laugh along with it with the ho, ho, ha, 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 it really is very therapeutic. So we're going to do a bit of that. So that is the clapping exercise. Next is deep breathing. Stretch out your hand, palms up. As you take a deep breath, you roll it in and hold your breath for 2 seconds. Ready? Take a deep breath in, hold it, and then release with a sigh. And then shake, shake, shake. Stretch out your hand, take a deep breath in. One more. Always 3. Take a deep breath in. Okay, good. So this is deep breathing. We do that in between certain exercises just to release some of the tensions. Next is childlike playfulness, and that's what we already did. See, when children play, how do they play? They run around and they say, oh, very good, very good, very good, and that's what we do. Very good, very good, yay! Very good, very good, yay! This is the adult version of childlike playfulness. All right? Instead of just clapping hand, no, go very good, yay! That shouting out releasing all the energy from inside. It really strengthens you. It makes you feel good after that. Okay? And finally, there are many types of exercises we can do. But today, we don't have that much time to do a lot. I hope maybe one day I can come back. I bring one of my students, laughter yoga student. She's very good at leading a lot of different laughter exercises. But today, she happens to have to go back to the province. So unfortunately, she couldn't join us. But next time, when I come back in September, maybe we'll do one with a proper laughter yoga session. But we can do some exercise now. We can sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. At the end of the first verse, we go ho, ho, ha, 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 like that. And second verse. At the third verse, at the end of the third verse, we go wah. Same with the fourth verse. Okay, everybody, ready, go. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Up above the world so high. Ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Very good, very good. Yay, very good, very good. Yay! Feel good? Yeah. Feel strong? Yeah. Some more? Yeah. Oh, McDonald. Okay, ready to go. Oh, McDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. And on that farm he had a pig. E-I-E-I-O. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. With the oink, oink here and the oink, oink there and the oink, 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 oink everywhere. Oink, oink, ha, ha, ha. Oink, oink, ha, ha, ha. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Very good, very good. Yay, very good, very good. Yay, good, very good. Yay, very good, very good. Yay. Okay. Stretch out your hand, deep breathing. Take a deep breath in. One more. Take a deep breath in. One more. Take another deep breath in. Okay, now I want to show you some explanation about laughter yoga. In fact, when I saw this was the reason I contacted him and went all the way to India to learn from him. The founder of laughter yoga, Dr. Madan Kataria. Listen to his explanation.
What are the 5 benefits of laughter yoga? First of all, laughter yoga can change your mood within minutes by releasing some chemicals from your brain cells we call endorphins. Now you will agree with me that if your mood is good, you do everything well, whether it's your personal life, business life, or social life. Everything depends upon your mood states. Second, laughter yoga reduces stress from your life and it strengthens your immune system. Now, if stress levels are down, if immune system is stronger, you will not fall sick easily in the first place. And if you have some health problems, chronic health conditions, you will heal much faster. So it's a fantastic, healthy exercise. Third, your brain needs 25% more oxygen for optimal functioning. Laughter exercises increase the net amount of oxygen to your body and brain, and it improves your efficiency. You can work more than you normally do, and you'll feel more energetic and more motivated. Fourth, laughter yoga is a great social connector of the people. Everybody wants to be with happy and smiling people, and nobody wants to sit with a grumpy person. So if you laugh on regular basis and do these laughter yoga exercises, you will have a smiling face. You will connect with people much quickly, and it brings you good quality of caring, sharing relationship with the people. And finally, everybody can laugh when times are good, but life is not always good. We have ups and downs in life. So how can you laugh when life gives you challenges, difficulties? Regular practice of laughter yoga exercises will give you a positive mental attitude, which will help you to go through these difficulties in a much better way.
These are all the benefits. So you can download the slides at the end. I'll show you the link. Then you can get this in details. Otherwise, it's too much for you to type in. Okay, now let's take a look at this vicious cycle of emotions causing this physical stress and emotional distress. What should we do? Relaxing the body, calming the mind. I think you already know what is easier. The question is, which is easier? Relax the body first and calm the mind, or calm the mind first and relax the body? Is it easy to calm the mind? No. Sometimes you lay down there, your mind going crazy. It's very hard to stop those thoughts, right? But you can help yourself. Well, never mind. And after a few times, if it still doesn't work, you go and focus on the see? These are some of the techniques that you learn. I hope has been helpful. Okay? Very important. A relaxed body is a necessary condition for a calm mind. You cannot calm your mind if your body is not relaxed. That's why you need to learn to relax the body first. Then only worry about your mind. Take care of your body first, okay? A lot of people think, oh, they want to calm the mind first. No. If you can relax your body first, relaxation, just do nothing. Take a deep breath. That's relaxation, right? And that can help you calm the mind after that. All right. The challenge of handling stress and distress. How to handle harmful effects of stress. Learn to relax and relieve, okay? And how to deal with anxiety and depression. Calm the emotions, compose the mind. And finally, how to build resilience and survival skills. Learn to mindfully recover and adapt with pause, relax, and think, okay? So, how do we practice mindfulness? Now, I'm putting the teachings of the Buddha, mindfulness, into a very simple, secular way. Okay? Mindfulness really is when something is happening around us. Bring your attention inwards, and that is called introspect. And realize what is happening inside you, because you can't change what goes on outside, but you can change what goes on inside. So become aware of what is going on inside. And what are the things going on inside? There are 4 things going on inside. First, the body is changing because of the hormones. Your body is all stressed up, all tensed up. And then you're feeling these sensations that are uncomfortable, agitations, disturbing you. That is what happens in the body, disturbing the mind. And then now the mind is disturbed, arousing emotions. And finally, not only arousing emotions, causing you to think in certain ways, then you start to have certain thoughts and judgment which are not helpful. This is really what's going on inside. So realize this is happening. And you can do something about it by simply pause, relax. First pause and then relax. Then if you're able to do that, right, then practicing mindfulness means be aware of what I showed you earlier on, the vicious cycle. And realize that there is a tendency to react. Our ego is strong. Makes us want to react. That's a tendency. We always want to react. Right? Learn to let go of the ego by simply pause, relax, do not react, refrain from judgment, focus on relaxation. These are the most helpful tips to how to practice mindfulness, okay? So focusing on relaxation is the most important part. So when all this is happening, right, causing the mind to get out of control, experiencing depression, anxiety, and all kinds of stuff like that, What do? Pause, relax, and think. When you can do that, think is an acronym. Truthful, helpful, improving, necessary, kind. THINK. Right? So think only of truthful thoughts. Don't think of thoughts that are not truthful, cheating thoughts, lying thoughts, right? And think of thoughts that can be helpful. If they are not helpful, let it go. Think of thoughts that can help you improve your situation. Only thoughts that are necessary and kind. Kindness is the most important. Every thought you carry should be kind. Then you transform vicious cycle into virtuous cycle of composure. Then your body becomes comfortable and your mind becomes calm. And good thoughts, good kind action, then they lead to good things. So these are 5 different ways of helping you to think for emotional composure. I'll come through the 5 ways in a moment. So those are the 5. And when you're able to do that, you will be able to cultivate a healthy body, peaceful mind, caring heart, and joyful spirit. So this is really what you can help to cultivate. And those are the most precious gifts in the world. Nothing is more precious than this. So take good care of your health. The fact that you are able to come here and attend this, you have healthy body. Now I hope you learned something to help you calm the mind and help you build this caring heart and joyful spirit. And all that will help you become more resilient, mindfulness-based resilient. Okay? So those 5 ways, change the channel in your mind. See, when you're watching television and you don't like what you see, what do? Change the channel. So if a certain thought pops into your mind and you don't like that, what do? Just focus on something else. Think of something else. Focus on joyful activities. Sing, dance, laugh, play with friends. And then if those thoughts are still disturbing you, driving you to do nasty things, consider the consequences of these bad thoughts affecting you. Think of the harmfulness of bad thoughts, harming yourself and others. And if you still have difficulty, learn to let it go. Abandon the bad thoughts, letting go of the bad thoughts. I'll teach you more techniques there. And do something relaxing and relieving, and then practice this tension relaxation. You see, this body and mind control. When you are doing tensing relaxation, you are actually releasing all the disturbances in your mind, right? Tense and relax the body. We'll come back. Change the channel in your mind. Play sports, volleyball, basketball, whatever, and other recreational games. Engage in art, right? Arts and craft. Do meditation, walking, yoga, Zumba dancing, and all kinds. Sing, dance, laugh with friends. Right? Very important to do that, because sharing is caring. Caring is healing. It helps you. Okay? And arithmetic of life. Now, what is arithmetic? Arithmetic is plus, minus, multiply, divide. Okay. We talk about divide. When you're feeling sad, talk to a good friend. Sorrow, when shared, is divided. And if you are feeling happy and you see your friend not feeling good, share your happiness. Happiness, when shared, is multiplied. You see, that is the basic arithmetic of life. Sorrow, when shared, is divided. Happiness, when shared, is multiplied. Very good, very good. Yay! Very good, very good. Yay! The greatest love of all. What is the greatest love of all? Love yourself, because you can search the entire universe for someone more deserving of your love than you yourself, but that person can never be found anywhere. You yourself, more than anyone else, deserve your love, right, and affection. So when you love yourself, think your mind is driving you to do something harmful. Think of the harmful effects. Think of the undesirable consequences and bad thoughts that bring to yourself, your loved ones, because you love yourself. Avoid harmful self-abuse, especially violence, degenerative behavior, and substance abuse. Value health, peace, love, happiness. Money cannot buy. The most precious gifts in the world. no amount, no millions and millions and billions can buy, right? So, because we love ourselves, learn to let go. When you love yourself, learn to let go things that are hurting you. Relax the body, calm the mind, and abandon bad thoughts using mindfulness-based meditation. So let's do that together. I'm going to join you all. Put down your things. Just relax. Don't cross your legs. Don't fold your arms. Just put down your things and sit back comfortably. You can lean back or you can sit up straight. It's up to you. Find a very relaxing posture and focus on any part of your body that is feeling tensed or tight. Just let go. Consciously release the tensed muscles. Any part of your body feeling tense. And bring your attention, when we start, you bring your attention inwards and keep your eyes closed. Okay, gently bring your attention inwards and allow breathing to flow smoothly and naturally, and observe your breathing. And let go thoughts that are disturbing you. If any disturbing thoughts arises, just respond with, well, never mind, and just let it go. In your mind, just say, well, never mind, and let go those disturbing thoughts and keep observing your breathing. So don't force it, don't exert any special effort, just simply relax. Focus your attention on your breathing. Observe your breathing as you breathe in and out. Allow it to flow smoothly and naturally. Disturbing thoughts arise, well, never mind, okay? Okay. Let's begin. Take a deep breath in and breathe out gently. Take another deep breath in and breathe out gently. As you breathe in, you feel more and more relaxed. As you breathe out, you feel more and more relaxed. With every breath you take, you become more and more relaxed. Take a deep breath in and breathe out gently. Keep your eyes closed and focus on your breathing. With your eyes closed, focus on your breathing. As you breathe in and out, feel more and more relaxed. And then you say to yourself, I am relaxed, I am calm, I am peaceful, I am relaxed, I am calm, I am peaceful. I am safe. I am loved. I am happy. I am alive. I am safe. I am loved. I am happy. I am alive. And then feel strong. I feel strong. I feel healthy. I feel happy. Feeling strong, you realize you are at peace. I am getting stronger and stronger, healthier and healthier every day. I am getting stronger and stronger, healthier and healthier every day. I am grateful for the blessings that have brought me comfort, peace, and happiness. Feeling grateful. Be grateful for the blessings that you have received. I am grateful for the lessons I learned from my own mistakes. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. With every breath you take, you feel more and more relaxed. And say to yourself, I am grateful for the blessings that allow me to experience life, sharing love, peace, and happiness with the people around me. Take a deep breath in and breathe out gently. Take another deep breath in and breathe out gently. One more deep breath in and breathe out gently. With every breath you take, you feel more and more relaxed. As you breathe in, you feel more and more relaxed. As you breathe out, you go deeper and deeper into relaxation. With every breath you take, you feel more and more relaxed. And then you say to yourself, I am safe, I am happy, I am loved, I am alive, I am safe, I I am happy. I am loved. I am alive. You may now open your eyes. Okay. All right. How does that feel? Yeah. You can actually fall asleep. Yeah, if you're tired, you can easily fall asleep. You feel very relaxed, deep into relaxation. So, that's how you can abandon your thoughts. This meditation, this mindfulness meditation can help you let go, abandon negative thoughts. During the time, was your mind filled with any negative thoughts, unpleasant thoughts? No. Your mind was feeling very relaxed. Now do something relaxing and relieving. Laughter is the best medicine. Now, a lot of people say laughter is the best medicine, but how many people know the reason? I'm going to show you a video now explaining, right? Pay attention, and you will learn why laughter is truly the best medicine.
One of the most powerful communication network within the body's internal nervous system is the vagus nerve. So what is the vagus nerve? Well, the Latin word vega means wandering. The vagus nerve is the longest set of cranial nerves that literally wanders around within the body, reaching out from the brain to almost every major organ in the body. It controls all involuntary body processes, such as breathing, speech, swallowing, heartbeat, blood pressure, hearing, taste, circulation, digestion, and gut health. It also controls bladder movement, orgasm, and fertility. A healthy vagus nerve enables us to access part of the brain responsible for creativity, higher cognition, and complex decision-making. In the absence of a healthy vagus nerve, our brain predominantly reacts to primal instincts, such as fear and the fight or flight reaction. A healthy vagus nerve is essential to leadership and decision-making. When the vagus nerve fails to perform effectively, the body becomes susceptible to a range of mental and physical diseases such as depression, anxiety, obesity, cardiovascular disorders, hypertension, diabetes, digestive disorders, chronic inflammation, kidney malfunction, infertility, and even Parkinson's disease. Electronic devices can be implanted to stimulate the vagus nerve, increasing its activity to help with diseases like depression. However, there are very effective natural ways to stimulate vagus nerve activity, such as breathing, meditation, exercises, yoga, omega-3, and probiotic-rich foods, singing, chanting, splashing cold water, laughing, hugging, and massages. By far, one of the most effective natural ways to stimulate the vagus nerve is through breath-related exercises involving strong activation of the diaphragm. Research has shown that natural stimulation of the vagus nerve has helped relieve depression in 67% of participants in the study, greatly reducing the release of stress hormone cortisol by 56% and reduced anxiety in 71% of the participants. Studies also showed stimulation of vagus nerve helps build stress resilience, improved immunity, inner happiness, creativity, stronger relationships. The long-term benefits from regular stimulation of the vagus nerve is reinforcement of love and empathy, connectedness, intuition, mental and physical well-being. All these benefits become integral parts of your life when you keep the vagus nerve nurtured and naturally stimulated regularly.
So the vagus nerve actually goes through every part of your body and brings the information back to the brains. But the vagus nerve, when it is stimulated, that means something activating it, something triggering it, it actually triggers the release of very powerful hormones that can help you deal with stress. Hormones that strengthen your immune system and makes you feel strong, makes you feel good and motivated, all that. And the vagus nerve, actually, one of the places that the vagus nerve passes through is your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is the muscle that separates your lungs from your bowel system. Place your hand just above your stomach and make a cough. And you feel something kicking. Now make a laughter. Touch it and make a laughter. And you feel that vibration there. This is why when you laugh or when you use deep breathing, or when you laugh, laugh and when you sing, that's why all the singing, when you sing, you are activating that diaphragm. And that diaphragm is really stimulating the vagus nerve. And when the vagus nerve is stimulated, it releases all these very powerful and helpful hormones. And this is the true scientific reason laughter is the best medicine. Laughter is the best medicine is not just a saying. It's a proven medical science that this will trigger the release of powerful hormones. So laughter is truly the best way to stimulate the vagus nerve, because the way to make the diaphragm really active is laughter. See? And that is really what it's all about. So, breathing, meditation, exercises, laughter, or yoga and chanting, laughter, singing, probiotic foods, splashing water, all this helps. Singing. Right? Now, we're not talking about buying these expensive probiotic foods. I mean, that's not going to really help. So, splashing cold water is helpful also. Sometimes if you feel too stressed and you really want to relieve, there's so many techniques that I already taught you. Another one is just go to the CR, turn on the cold water, not warm water, cold water, and splash cold water all over your face. Right? That really helps you release from stress very quickly. Right? So not only this, okay, there are also others. Right? Breathing, deep breathing, and it's one of the most critically overlooked relaxation tools. Easily help you. When you do deep breathing, it increases the natural unforced oxygen intake. It actually stabilizes your heart rate and blood pressure. It regulates your body temperature and your blood circulation. It restores homeostasis and calms your nervous system, indicating an absence of threats, and brings your attention and awareness to the present moment. All these can help you. So let's learn a few very helpful techniques. We call this the 4-6-8 breathing. This means you take a deep breath in to 4 counts, 4 seconds or 4 counts, and then hold your breath for 6 counts. After holding the breath for 6 counts, release very gently for 8 counts, and then focus on the counting. During the whole time, focus your mind on the counting. Okay? So everybody ready? Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now we're going to do this 3 times in a row. So realize that breathing out is 8 counts, so you have to breathe out very slowly. Otherwise, you will run out of breath to breathe out. So breathe out slowly for 8 counts. Right? And remember, you have to hold for 6 counts. Okay? Right, everybody ready? Go. Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now this technique helps you stay awake. In other words, if you at night want to sleep, don't use this technique. It will keep you awake, because this technique stimulates very active hormones that help you pay attention. So if you are attending a lecture and you find yourself feeling a bit sleepy, use this technique. You can sit there and do that without anyone knowing. And then hold it for 6 count, and then release it gently for 8 count, and do that 3 times in a row. Then you find yourself able to pay attention better. Same thing when you are maybe doing homework and you're reading or whatever. Yeah, you're doing homework and then you find yourself very sleepy. Use this technique. That keeps you awake. So this technique is very refreshing, helps you stay awake. So this is one technique, right? So is this useful? Yes. Good. Very good. Very good. Yay! Very good. Very good. Yay! Now the next technique called physiological sigh. This means you take a deep breath and then you use a sigh to let it out, okay? Listen to the explanation by this scientist.
That the physiological sigh is the fastest hardwired way for us to eliminate this stressful response in our body quickly in real time. And the physiological sigh is something that we do spontaneously, but when you're feeling stressed, you can do a double inhale, long exhale. But when you do the double inhale, exhale, the double inhale reinflates those little sacs of the lungs. And then when you do the long exhale, that long exhale is now much more effective at ridding your body and bloodstream of carbon dioxide, which relaxes you very quickly. That the physiological sigh is the fastest hardwired way for us to eliminate this stressful response in our body quickly in real time. When you're feeling stressed, the physiological sigh done just 1 to 3 times, so it would be double inhale, exhale, maybe just 2 times, will bring down your level of stress very, very fast. And as far as I know, it's the fastest way to accomplish that.
It's the fastest way to reduce stress in terms of breathing technique. So what do? Now try and use the nose to breathe in and your mouth to breathe out, okay? The reason is that your nose, unless you have a blocked nose, otherwise always use only the nose for breathing in, because your nose inside there's a hair to trap all the dirt from the air, right? So that is important. Okay, take full deep breath in and then a second full deep breath in twice in a row, right? And then you hold it for 2 seconds and release it slowly with a big sigh, like that, okay? Right, everybody, let's do that. Ready, go. Deep breath in. One more deep breath in. Hold it. Now breathe out with a sigh. This is called the physiological sigh. When you do that, it releases a lot of stress and tensions in your body and disturbances in your mind. So let's do this 3 times in a row, and then I want you to observe how you feel immediately after that. Okay, ready, go. Deep breath in. Second deep breath in. Hold it. Breathe out. Deep breath in. One more deep breath in. Hold it. One more deep breath in. Second deep breath in. Hold it. All right, now ask yourself, how does it feel? Very awake, yeah? Makes you feel very awake. So this is one of the ways when you are feeling very stressed, this is one of the things you can do to help you release the stress, because this can really get rid of a lot of physical and emotional tensions in your body, right? So I hope you have learned plenty of techniques. Finally, we go to the last part, tension relaxation. Okay, we can do that. Everybody stand up. Follow, put down your things, don't hold on to anything. You need both hands available. Put down your things and follow, put down your phone. Yeah, otherwise it's no use. Okay? Follow my meditation teacher. This is my meditation teacher, and listen to what he does.
And we will stretch our spine to the up, and let's use our breath. Breathing in, try to press your both hands over the up. And then we will lock our hands over here, and then bend our breathing out, bend our palms and touch the head. And then breathing in, next time we turn our palms and try to stretch as much as we can. Give a nice stretch your spine and bend your head. And breathing out, come back and turn the palms and resting on the head. Breathing in, turning the palm, stretch, bend the head. Breathing out, bringing the head back, turning the palm and resting the palm on the head. Just to feel few more times to give a nice stretch to our palms. Breathing in, turning, right, ending. Breathing out, down, resting. Breathing in again, right. Breathing out. 2 more times. Breathing in. Breathing out. One last time. Breathing in. Breathing out. And this time, breathing in, bring your palms up and breathe out. You unlock the fingers and bring them all the way down. Relax and take a moment again to establish your awareness of the body.
Okay, take a deep breath
Feel all the
in
sensation throughout
and
your
then
arms,
breathe out.
palms.
Take another deep
Feel
breath
them all.
in
And be
and
in the
then breathe out. Take one more deep breath in and then breathe out.
body. Let us do our second movement.
Now follow the
This
next
time we will
movement.
bend our spine to the sides. Let us raise our right hand.
Right
with our
hand.
in-breath.
Kanan.
Breathing in, raising our right hand all the way up. Just the right hand. Breathing out, we bend our body to opposite direction. Giving nice bend to the opposite direction. And breathe in, come back to the middle. Breathe out, going back again. Bending to the sides. Breathing in, come back to the middle. Breathing out, going back again. Breathing in, come back to the middle. Breathing out, going back again. And stay here for a
Stay
while.
there, don't let go
Take
yet.
breath here. Feel the stretch of the hands, the ribs and the muscles. Release the breath. Next, in-breath, come back to the middle. Breathing out, gently bring your hands down. Rest. Let's do the same to the other hand. Breathing
Left
in,
hand.
left hand on the way out. Breathing out, bend your body's opposite direction. Breathing in, come back to the middle. Breathing out, come back in. Breathing in, come back to the middle. Breathing out, come back in. Breathing in, come back. Breathing out, come back again. Just
Stay
for
there.
a while, take a breath here.
Stay there.
By feeling all the stretch starting from your leg all the way and release the breath. And next in breath, come back to the middle. Breathing out, gently bring your hands down.
Okay, take a deep breath in and then breathe out. Alright, you may sit down now. So that is tension relaxation. This can help your mind calm down very quickly. So this physical exercise can help your mind calm down. This is one of those physical exercises good for the mind, okay? All right, and then when your mind is feeling good, what do? You think good, you speak good, and you do good, right? Because when we are hurt by stress, the greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. So said one of the most famous psychologists, William James, okay, one of the founding fathers of modern psychology, William James, that we can choose our thoughts. So now we're going to do some thought choosing, right? Blessings. Oh, the computer with the font doesn't work. Blessings that come to us belong to us if we create the capacity to receive it. That means very often blessings come by and we don't notice. So if we are mindful and we are attentive, things happening around us can actually help us. So there are many blessings around us. They're having a shelter at home. Isn't that a blessing? Yeah? Having clothes to wear and something to put on when it gets cold. Isn't that a blessing? Yeah, having food to eat. Isn't that a blessing? But we take these things for granted. We don't think about these as blessings. But they're all blessings. Sitting here, learning, enjoying this. Isn't it a blessing? Yeah. Now if it is a real blessing, what do we do? Very good, very good, yay! Very good, very good, yay! Now we're going to learn 3 things can help us become happy. Very often when we think about the past, and then we get angry because something hurt us, and then we remember things that hurt us, and it's not good, right? Whenever you think about the past, don't think about things that are hurting you. Realize if it is something that is hurting you, let it go, and forgiving is the best way. Forgive the past. Learn to forgive the past, because past, if we think about the past, there are many things that have hurt us. Many people say bad things, many people do wrong things, or many people do things against our wishes. Many people are hurting us of either intentionally or unintentionally, or our own mistakes, we hurt ourselves. Let it go. Forgive the past. And when you look around you, there are so many things to be grateful for. Grateful for the present. And finally, if you want to have a beautiful future, learn to be kind. Kind to yourself, kind to others. Then you actually have a good future. So when we think about forgiveness, we always think, oh, that person hurt us. Why should I forgive him? He doesn't deserve to be forgiven. Forgiveness is not about who deserves it. You love yourself. You are the one who deserves it. When you learn to forgive, you're helping yourself. You're helping yourself. When you learn to forgive, you are actually helping yourself. You realize you're freeing yourself from the pain and the suffering, and then you're the one. You're helping yourself. You're setting someone free, and you yourself. Because it's not about who hurt you. It's not about what happened. Because you love yourself. Let go of that pain and that suffering. Don't cling on to it. Move forward with your life. Let it go, and then you find life is more peaceful and happy. Even Winnie the Pooh can tell you that. Forgiving makes Pooh a better bear. Not forgiving makes Pooh a bitter bear. Do you want to be better or bitter? Actually, it's quite funny. I did this in San Fernando, Pampanga one time to school students. And you know what they answered? Do you want to be better or bitter? You know, everybody said bitter. You know, in Pampanga, they pronounce the E as the I. They actually meant better, but Pampanga people pronounce it with bitter. I want to be bitter. Oh my God. I said, then I realized, Pampanga. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we hug ourselves. Just hug yourself, and then we recite this together. At the end of reciting this, we release it using laughter. We go, wah, 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 crescendo. And then very good, yeah, okay? Everybody, hug yourself and ready, go. I forgive myself for all the mistakes I have made in my life. I forgive myself for hurting myself out of fear, anger, anxiety, and frustration. I forgive others who have hurt, harmed, or angered me. I forgive myself for having hurt, harmed, or angered others. Very good, very good, yay! Very good, very good, yay! Now, gratitude is something we can offer to the world. Grateful. Put your palms together because you're feeling grateful. And ready, go. I am grateful to be alive and well. I am grateful for the shelter over my head, the clothing protecting my body, and the food that nourishes me every day. I am grateful for the lessons I learned from my own mistakes. I am grateful for the blessings that have brought me comfort, peace, and happiness. I am grateful for the blessings of sharing love, peace, and happiness with everyone around me. Very good, very good, yay! Very good, very good, yay! Where does kindness come from? Where does kindness come from? Inside. From the heart. Put one hand over your heart and let's recite this together. Ready, go. May I be kind to myself with my thoughts and my feelings. May I be kind to others with every word I speak and every action I take. May I cultivate the kindness towards things I cannot change. May I cultivate the wisdom to change with kindness the things I can. May I cultivate the compassion to be kind to my friends and my family and to everyone around me. Very good, very good, yay! Very good, very good, yay! Now, like Wonder Woman, feel strong, cross your arm in front of you, and let's recite together. Ready, go! When I am no longer able to change the situation, I am challenged to change myself. May I find the strength and the courage to forgive the past. May I be grateful for the present. May I be kind towards the future with my feelings, thoughts, speech, and action. It is to me. It is up to me. Wow! Very good, yay! Very good, very good, yay! The paradoxical commandment, I'm just taking an excerpt. People are illogical, unreasonable, and self-centered. Love them anyway. If you do good, people will accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Do good anyway. If you are successful, you will win false friends and true enemies. Succeed anyway. Honesty and frankness makes you vulnerable. Okay, be honest and frank anyway. You know, different computer, the font doesn't work. Okay, so this is from paradoxical commandment. Anybody knows about this? It's written by a person by the name of Keith Kent or Ken Keith or something like that, when he was a university student. Later on, he became a pastor. Right? But during the time he was a university student, he wrote this. It's a very long thing. Google paradoxical commandment and you will get the full text. Very, very interesting. Okay, very helpful. All right. Never stop believing. Okay, when people can criticize you, you can be the best. Be your best. Don't worry about what other people are saying. Sino ba sila? But actually, it is no si pala si.
Put your hands together, everybody.
Wait.
Wake up. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
No si pala si.
Pansinin ang nahihiya sa'yo. Was
It's actually her son. The guitarist is the son of Sampagita.
No si balasi, sino ba sila? No si balasi, sino ba sila?
Sino ba sila?
Very good, yay! Very good,
Yay! Never stop believing. I'd like to finish off with this very powerful saying. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be one who cannot read and write, but the one who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So I hope today you have learned something helpful. If there has been anything you realize in the past you should not have followed, then let go, unlearn them. And then relearn something that can help you be a better person. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful, because if it has to be, it is up to me. Okay, so what have you learned today? Right? If you have been, if things happening around you and you learn from it, right? If something hurt you and you realize how you can adapt and adjust yourself, right? Then you are able to learn. And when you're able to learn, right, unlearn and relearn, you are what we call galing. But if you stop learning, what do you call this? Gago. Yeah? So what type of ga are you? Okay, we come to the end. There's a link there. Alright, take a snapshot. You can download from this link, tiny.cc/ccp-resilience. You can get all the slides that you've seen today. Alright, if you quickly take a snapshot of this link. So thank you very much. I hope it has been helpful. Right? Very good. Yay! Very good. Very good. Yay! All right. So